to the Ultraflex Football podcast, where we have fun with our friends while we talk about football and anything else we want to talk about. I'm your host, Anthony Sutton. With me, as always, is Rob Green.
Howdy.
Travis Enser.
What's up, guys and girls?
And Ryan Wheeler.
What's up, everyone else? Last week we did the album thing like we always do. Rob, I can't believe you stole my howdy first.
Yeah, it was my turn to steal it.
Second of all, Tony, I was expecting the big woo and then super loud, and you just
that was our third take. So
that was our third take.
Your dog tired me out. One, and two, you got to surprise him with it. Can't do it every week, or else it's not loud. Then it's just every week.
Ziggy tap dancing in the background.
Yeah, my dog was tap dancing. It ruined the first couple takes here. So this is like the first time we've ever had to restart. And it was all on me. I feel bad, guys. I'm sorry. But last week we did our album, the songs. We did Taylor Swift's 1989. This week we got one of my all-time favorite albums, Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. Such a good album. That's all, Tony. I don't know what to do next after that. I don't do the whole hosting thing.
I'll transition us over to my segment, and we're going to go to the butt fumble. I started laughing before I even say the jokes. All right, here we go. They're not going to be as bad, I don't think anyway, as the last couple weeks. So last weekend, I went to the zoo, but it only had one animal, and it was a dog. It was just shit zoo.
I was going to ask if it was a beaver.
And then you guys know I had a vasectomy, right? Megan and I decided 2 kids is enough. We got 2 great kids. We're happy. Went and got my vasectomy. Went for a checkup. Doctor said other than being a little bit small, everything looks good. Said, here's this jar. Bring it back tomorrow with your semen. We'll get your semen count. Make sure you're good to go. So I brought it back the next day. Jar was still empty. He said, what happened? I said, I went home. I'm right-handed. Tried with my right hand. Nothing happened. Tried with my left hand. Nothing happened. Megan tried with her right hand and left hand in her mouth. Nothing happened. We went to our neighbors. They tried with their right hand. And then the doctor said, you went to your neighbors. And I said, yeah, we couldn't get the jar open.
Oh my God.
Where is your head at?
I didn't realize we shared so much on this podcast.
I know. Dude, I was a little worried.
Well, I did. I mean, part of that obviously is a joke, but I did have a second.
That's no joke.
That's
no laughing matter.
7 shots to the nads for anyone that hasn't
Done trying for that girl.
No more kiddos. Yeah. So nothing too vulgar today, other than a little penis joke. Never hurt anybody. So we're gonna head over to the draft. Do we have?
Do we have music for the draft, Tony?
One of these we didn't have music for. I can't remember what one.
It's the football segment, and I think there's something else, but I'll push a button and see what happens.
All right, yeah, let's push buttons. We are going to be drafting household chores, but specifically our least favorite. So what do we hate to do around the house? Megan, my wife, would say everything. So I don't do much. But I have pick 101. Ryan and Travis are after me, and then Rob ends the round and has the snake back. So,
in my defense, when I went through the thread today, I definitely thought we were doing a different topic.
Oh no!
I got this though. I know all the lists. I know all the chores Allie does. So
101 for me, my least favorites. Luckily, it's one of Megan's favorites. Is folding laundry. I cannot stand to fold.
Terrible.
Laundry.
Folding laundry is awful.
It is awful.
And I don't know if you guys have the same experience, but my wife and I will have the same amount of laundry in a hamper, right? That's bring it back upstairs. We go to fold our laundry. She'll finish hers folding her laundry in like, it takes her like a minute. And I'm standing there for like 20 minutes folding my laundry, putting the socks together. Like,
Yep. And then you got to hang everything up that wasn't folded. Yeah, it takes forever.
Folding laundry is awful.
Shout out to my wife. I don't have to fold laundry like ever. But
Wow.
I usually put it off for a while, let the pile get bigger and bigger, and then just put it all away at once. Takes me like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you have?
Man, there's a lot of household chores that I don't like doing. I think I'm going to go with... So, I don't know. This definitely counts. I'm going to count it anyways. I don't care what you guys say. I love cooking. How's that? I do love cooking. But the thing that I hate doing is meal prepping. Like when you meal prep for a week or like for dinner later that day, just meal prepping, I hate having to like cut up the vegetables and all that stuff. So I'm going to go with meal prepping for my first one.
You say you love cooking? Isn't that cooking?
No, like I mean, like putting them in like jars for like the rest of the week or whatever you're doing. You know, like you're preparing.
You're talking about like getting your lunches ready for like
yeah,
Right.
or your dinners. Like if you're cutting up chicken for like if it's Monday, you're cutting up chicken for Wednesday's dinner or something. You know, like just prepping.
It's
for
like
the week.
practice for the game. You hate the practice,
Right?
We talking about practice. Travis, what do you got? 103.
My first pick is going to be cleaning the shower drain.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a good one.
So usually I get a
Or a
big
bad
old
one.
clob of Allie's hair, and usually not mine. I don't have much up there, so
Me either.
All right, Rob, you got 2 in a row.
All right, I'll take for sure washing the dishes.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. Very repetitive. Takes too long. No dishwasher here, so I would guess if you have a dishwasher, you hate unloading or loading the dishwasher. It's still repetitive. And for my second pick, I will take... Let's go with vacuuming. We just finally got rid of all the carpets in our downstairs and so happy we don't have to vacuum anymore.
Those are 2 good ones.
That's like one of the only chores I actually somewhat enjoy. I don't know, something about... I like to mow the lawn. Something about forming the lines in the carpet. I don't know. I'm weird. Anyway, Travis?
So I'm going to piggyback off that because I'm going to say this is a little different. I'm going to say shampooing the carpet. I don't mind vacuuming, but running the shampooer, which sounds kind of bougie, is definitely more of a hassle for anybody who shampoos carpets.
Or you have to
Maybe
wear
when you
shoes.
clean out your college dorm.
Yeah. And then you got your kid crawling around all over the wet carpet.
Naturally.
Naturally.
What do you got, Ryan?
All right. I'm going to go with snow blowing the driveway. I know, Tony, you don't have to worry about that much where you are, but here in Buffalo, up here, we got some snow.
What's a snowblower?
I actually enjoy snow blowing my driveway.
Okay.
I would
well,
love
let
to
me
snowblow
explain.
my driveway.
I'm outside for 8 hours every day. So I come home or I have to get up before I go do that and go snow blow the driveway. No bueno. That's definitely my number 2.
All right, I got 2 here. I'm going to say first one is changing the diaper genie. Just the amount of stank coming out of one spot is not fun. So that is my second one. And then I'll say making the bed. Just on a daily basis is actually we don't do that very much. I mean, I guess we do. We just throw the comforter back on top. But like I'm talking about actually putting the sheet on the bed is a pain in the arse. And I don't know. The sheets are just they're too tight. They should make them bigger. It's too different.
And they wouldn't look nice.
No, I don't care. Who sees the sheet? You have the comforter on top for a reason.
You do.
All right, those are my 2. Ryan, you're up.
Oh, crap. I'm gonna go like kind of towards what Enser was saying. He said cleaning out the drain. I'm just gonna go with cleaning the bathroom, like the toilet, the sink, all that stuff. Wiping the mirror down. I'm taking that for my number 3.
I was surprised it was still there.
Me too.
Travis?
I'm going to go with cleaning out the gutters. Although, life hack, you hop up there with a leaf blower, it goes a lot faster.
Do people actually clean the gutters?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be doing
When you're when your basement it's flooded about 20 times,
Yeah,
then you
let's
start
clear
to
those
look
out.
at them.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you had a rough go in Alabama, right?
Yeah. Yep, the
Yeah.
rain found us.
Yeah.
Doesn't rain a
The rain
lot, but
finds
when
everyone.
it does, it really rains.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rob ends at your draft right here, 2 in a row.
All right. I will take cleaning out the refrigerator
That was on my list.
because I hate throwing out leftovers. You're like, how long has that been in there? Maybe only a day. I could push it back there for another day, and then it just sits there for a while, and you got to throw it out, and it stinks, and no fun. So I'll go with cleaning the fridge, and for my last pick, most people probably don't have one of these, but we heat our downstairs with a pellet stove, and I hate cleaning the pellet stove, so I'm taking cleaning the pellet stove.
You guys ever go through your condiments and realize that, like, I mean, maybe ones that you like haven't used in forever have been expired for like a year, like
Oh, yeah.
like Worcestershire sauce or whatever. You got some of that in there. It's like
It's still fine. You can still eat that.
yeah.
I
Condiments
know I have a whole list of my favorites.
Is that what you? So we had a discussion before the show of what we should do for our draft, and condiments was one of them. Drafting condiments.
Favorite
apparently-
condoms or condiment?
Favorite either.
Travis,
you can
you're
eat
up.
both.
Nope.
All right, so last on my list. So this chore it doesn't bother me so much as that it's annoying because it can come up at any minute. I can be hanging out with you guys right now, and this chore could come up, and it's killing spiders.
Sounds awful. Oh.
So my wife is terrified of
Ryan's
spiders,
favorite.
and if she spots a spider at any moment, I must be there. I'm pretty sure it's in our marriage contract.
So if you hear someone screaming in the background, we can expect you to leave for a little bit, and we'll know what you're doing now.
Possibly.
We appreciate that. No, spiders are so terrifying, man. No matter how big.
Wolf spiders are very nice, though. Don't kill them.
So do you want us to tell you when there's one on your forehead or no?
Yes,
Anybody
please,
have that little
please do.
screen? That little screen animated spider?
Yeah.
No, don't do that. I've been paying attention. I think I can't believe these haven't been taken. But I'm going to take both of them in one, and leave Tony out of either of them. I'm going to go with picking up dog poop or doing the cat litter. That hasn't been taken yet, right?
Those are two different chores.
Are they just cleaning up your animal's poop?
Two very different kinds of poop.
All right.
One's
Well,
outside
Maybe
and
not
one's
for
inside.
for your dog and cat, but
yeah, it's literally my cat's poop bigger than my dog. So I guess I'll go with picking up the cat litter because it's the worst. And it
I was
stinks.
gonna say picking up dog poop if you didn't, which it sounds like you're taking cat litter, but
I am.
I'll let you have both.
So generous.
Because I hate washing windows more than I hate picking up dog poop. So I'm gonna put washing windows.
That's a good one. So did you write down what everybody had?
Yep. So I've got folding laundry, changing the diaper genie, making the bed, and washing windows. Ryan has meal prepping, if that counts, snow plowing, cleaning bathroom, picking up dog poop. Travis has cleaning the shower drain, shampooing the carpets, cleaning the gutters, and killing spiders. And Rob has the dishes, vacuuming, cleaning the fridge, and cleaning the pellet stove. A lot
all stink.
a lot of terrible things.
No one took grocery shopping.
I had it on my
Grocery
list.
shopping, cleaning the stove, yard work. And a lot more on the
mowing.
list.
see,
The more
I stop
kids
about
Taking out
every
the
day.
trash.
I stop about every day and grab 2 or 3 things that we need. So I never really do like a big grocery shopping.
Is that how you do it?
The more kids you
we
have,
do a lot
my
of
wife
pickups
has me
now
do it.
too.
or
So.
the trip to the store is actually like vacation. So
Yeah.
Megan and I fight over who is. But that's it. That's our draft. We are going to switch over to the analytics department.
Oh, we're going to my segment already? Everyone's like, this is a football show, right? Yeah, well, I guess we'll get to the football talk here eventually. I guess it is pretty much the off or postseason, right? So there's not that much to talk about. We're not doing bets and all that stuff. So, did you know that everything I've said so far for my Did You Knows has been completely made up, and it's not true? I'm just kidding, guys. That's not true. It's actually, did you know that today is National Opposite Day? Not that that matters, because it's the 25th of January, and by the time this comes out, it will be the 26th. So you missed it. It was yesterday, if you're listening on Thursday, the 26th. But today was National Opposite Day. And also, can't just do that. I'm gonna throw in another one. Did you know that the early designs for Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear revealed the action figure was originally going to be called? Anybody know?
Stormtrooper Bob.
Nope. Can't take that. That's Star Wars. Lunar Larry.
Lunar Larry.
I was close.
I don't know why. When you were talking about opposites, like our faces are kind of opposite. Like if you put my hair, your
Let's hear it.
beard with my hair.
Let's hear how this makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like the bottom of your face would fit well on the bottom of my face.
Well,
Did you guys
your
notice I
hair is
joined
my
the
beard?
I joined the mustache club here.
No, you did?
Yeah, zoom in.
Dude.
Get some better pixels.
Holy moly,
Sorry, Tony.
man.
Oh, mine's coming. Don't worry. Now we're going to get to the football part of the Ultraflex Football podcast. Guys, the Bills season's over. Robbie, you were there. You can start us off. What happened?
Yeah, that was a rough game. It will not be soon forgotten for us Bills fans. I would rather not talk too much about it personally. There wasn't a whole lot that went well in that game. It wasn't too much fun to be at. Keep it simple.
We got outcoached.
Yeah.
Got outplayed.
There was just no energy from the team from the start. They were lacking energy, and I don't know if that's just a kind of a product of everything that's happened over the last month with the Hamlin situation and everything else, but yeah, they were very flat.
Would you say all of the points of authority were directly pointed at the Bengals and that it was a runaway win?
It was definitely a runaway win.
Yeah.
And I think Brandon Beane in his post-season presser, he kept talking about how at the end of last year the Bills were playing their best football. And we've talked about it throughout the last couple of weeks and months on here and off of here about how the Bills just weren't playing their best football. And they were turning the ball over a lot. They were keeping other teams in the game. They weren't getting pressure from the D-line. The corners weren't covering anyone. And all of that showed very clearly against the Bengals, who are playing very, very well. Joe Burrow is playing very well. I think a lot of people for the longest time, Allen's still a top 3 or 4 quarterback, but I think there's a lot of people out there right now that would take Burrow over Allen. Not necessarily fantasy, but just like for their team. And as of right now, it's hard to argue against that. I mean, Burrow's balling. I think the matchup between Mahomes and Burrow is the 2 best quarterbacks in the league at the moment. And hopefully the Bills can get better this offseason and help Allen and have an offense.
That offensive line needs some protection.
They have an offense that looks like the Bengals, because the Bengals everything that the Bengals did looked very, very easy. Everything that the Bills have done for the last 2 months has looked very, very hard.
Let me just say that I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you that Joe Burrow is possibly a better franchise quarterback right now than Josh Allen. But if you gave Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, like, could you imagine what that dude could do? Even Joe Mixon. Like, could you imagine how good that offense would be with those weapons?
That's why it's always hard to really, truly compare a lot of quarterbacks or guys in the position. Even like, you can go like the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady stuff. I think that would be much, much closer if you had swap positions. It's just tough.
Has Burrow been paid yet?
No.
Nope.
So, I was going to say that's why the AFC Championship game lost 3 years ago now, or whatever, the 20
2 years
ago. Season.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's why that loss was so impactful, and that's why for Bills fans the 13 seconds was so impactful, because once you pay, I know Allen got paid last year, but once you pay a quarterback like that, you're not going to be able to surround him with a team that the Bengals have. So it's freaking hard. I mean, not that we would know, but it's freaking hard to get to an AFC Championship game or an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl. So anytime you have a chance, I mean, I think Bills fans are lucky that we'll probably be in the mix for the next however long Allen's here, 10 years or whatever the case is. But I think because we saw Brady run the division for the last 20 years, and saw him go to 7 Super Bowls or whatever, like that's what Bills fans expect. Like, unfortunately, if you get 1 Super Bowl out of Allen or even 1 Super Bowl appearance, like that's the norm. The norm isn't 7 Super Bowls. The norm isn't 5 AFC championships in a row from Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's the exception.
Well, the Bills really just picked up the Titans template with a better QB.
Yeah. Which is not
get an
good.
AFC championship, make the playoffs a couple years. But they'll dupe you in the end.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's just, what do you guys think about this week's games?
These poor guys are so depressed. Look at these. Sorry, suckers.
I'd be more depressed if I was a Titans fan. I didn't have Josh Allen for the next 10 years.
Oh, no, man. We're good.
Hey, I'm already on to the draft. I'm on to next year.
All right, there's the next question. What do you want? What are you looking at? What position?
For the Bills?
Yep.
Give me either an offensive lineman or another wide receiver. Just keep building that offense. I don't need to see more money and high premium picks put into the defense for it to not matter in the end anyway.
Do you think they're in a similar situation as far as what they're looking for as the Titans, besides QB and running back? I think the Titans have their running back set. I think the Bills have their QB set. But I think they're both weak at O-line. They're both technically weak at secondary because Tre'Davious White hasn't really gotten back to what he was yet. And then you've got Micah, who was injured, and you got Poyer probably leaving.
The Bills do have much better depth at cornerback, I'd say, with Kyer Elam and was it Benford?
Oh, for sure.
Christian
I mean, it's
Benford.
tough. The Titans, I mean, they've got, I can think of like 3 guys who have barely touched the field. They're young, but so you don't even really know what they have.
Right. I think Christian Benford is going to be the new safety in Buffalo once Poyer leaves this year, if he doesn't get re-signed.
I did see some talk of potentially converting him to safety. I mean, they're not just going to hand him the job as a 6th round rookie, but a 2nd-year player.
I mean, it depends, too, what happens with Hamlin, if he's able to play eventually or not. So we'll see. But I think whether it's the Bills or the Titans or any team in the NFL, once you have a stout offensive line, you're one step closer to getting to the Super Bowl. Because watching the All-22 of the Bills game, like, they don't even have an excuse. Like, the Bengals had all the injured players on offensive line, and Allen was getting.
They just kind of went around.
It was ridiculous watching how quickly he was getting pressured, and it's hard. to see that from the camera angle on the TV, but you also just get used to it. You're like, oh, there you go, Allen's on the run. But then you see the all-22, and you're like, oh, what? Like that was blown up fast.
Did you see Allen's elbows after the game? Just all bloodied up. It's like 2 weeks in a row now because he just keeps getting knocked down.
This is why I like Tony Romo when he's doing his commentating, because he's just so knowledgeable about, the game. And he's talking about how Joe Burrow is basically running like a Peyton Manning offense. He was talking about you kind of put, the two guys out and, all the different setup was basically a read like Peyton Manning would do.
I heard a lot about how Leslie Frazier's defense, how he might have to go because he can't coach defenses well against the top tier teams. Just what I've heard. I don't really have an opinion on it, but his delayed blitzes from the linebackers was a really questionable thing to do, and he's doing it all game. And Joe Burrow doesn't hold on to the ball, so what the hell are you going to delay the blitz for? Like by the time they're running in, the ball's gone. Like he was calling terrible defensive plays. He had a terrible scheme. Obviously, the Bengals were moving the ball at will. It seemed like
that's my biggest problem with him. Is a lot of times his defense does work, especially you see in the regular season, but he seems to have I don't know if it's a stubbornness or what it is, just a complete belief in his system that he doesn't make changes to it. So
right.
you didn't see really any changes in the defensive game plan against the Bengals. Like they just kept doing the same thing over and over, and the Bengals just kept taking what was there, and it worked for them.
I don't know if our corners were good enough to play man consistently against their receivers, but eventually, like when Burrow's consistently picking apart your zone, like you got to show him something different.
Well, you don't have to, and he didn't, and that's why they got destroyed.
Does he ever talk? When they show him on TV, he's never talking. I've never seen him talk. Like who's calling the plays?
It's a telepathy thing.
So
I want to ask you. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say in the blame game, where does Sean McDermott fall, in your guys' opinion?
There's got to be some blame that falls on the head coach when 3 years in a row you kind of hit the same point and fail. But compared to where they were for 15, 20 years, it's not even close. Like I don't want to put too much blame on him yet. If he comes out and does it 2 more years, maybe even 1 more year, I might be at that point. But
yeah, well, I've heard
he did seem.
Go ahead.
No, he did seem conservative, not just in the Bengals game, but just all season compared to last year. Like throughout all of last year, if it was 4th and 2 or 3 and they were on the plus 50, like he was going to go for it. And they punted. I can't remember what the yardage was, but they punted from their own 40 at one point. I think it was like 4th and
2
or 3.
Yeah.
We were all screaming in the stadium on that play.
That was the end of the third quarter, right?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, he's a defensive-minded coach, so he wants to trust his defense. And I think that's just in these big moments where the stress is high, that's what he just kind of defaults to, is to
trust
be
the defense. Trust the defense that's given up or that's forced 1 punt the whole game.
I think it's wrong, but that's just how he is. It's his nature. That's what he's going to do. He's not one of these guys who thinks of just going for it.
Right.
I also think, I was saying it too, and I think you guys agreed at the time, but the fact that everyone thought that the Bills roster was so like next level this summer, like it's crazy. We didn't think that during the season because at the end of the last 2 or 3 months that kind of showed. But I do think that kind of falls on him a little bit because he wasn't getting the potential out of Gabe Davis or name whoever it is that didn't. Offensive line, defensive line didn't get much pressure. So I think that does fall on him a little bit as well.
It's not fair to Gabe Davis. He was a wide receiver 4 last year, and now he's a wide receiver 2. That's tough, man. That's a big ask. It's understandable why he didn't perform.
And your defense was next level with Von Miller. And as soon as he went down, it's like sometimes, you've got pieces that you can lose, and then you have a piece that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Couldn't get any pressure once he went down.
No.
I think Gabe Davis had 50% completion percentage. So I think he was at 52 out of 104. Like, that's just not gonna.
That's not good.
I want to ask you about this week's games because we'll talk about that when we pick the games in a couple segments. So anything else you guys want to talk about during the football part of the Ultraflex Football?
It's all football related. That's why we changed the titles of every segment.
All right, then let's go to the hurry up with Travis.
Okay, so we are playing the rhyming game. And for people who haven't played along before, I give a word, and then you have 15 seconds to write down as many words as you can that rhyme with the word. This week, my word came from inspiration listening to Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. He was talking about some of his hobbies, one of which is whale watching. So this week's word is whale. And time's up. It's really hard to count with that music because it's got kind of a fast beat.
Well, so I was supposed to stop it at 10 seconds, but you know how hard it is to write, think of rhymes, look up at the clock, see 10 seconds, stop. I stopped it at 12, man. And I got 7 words, so I feel pretty good about it.
You still did better than me.
I only have 5.
I got 6.
Who do you want to read, Enser?
I'm going to let's start with Tony.
All right. I've got pale.
Which one?
P-A-L-E.
I have pale, as in like a friend. P-A-L.
You guys can be getting two pointers out of these ones.
Whoa, I'm reading, Ryan.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying, is that the same? Because I have
Ryan,
P-A-L.
Shut it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
Ale.
I'm in charge here.
Tail. I-L and L-E. Tail.
Attaboy.
And stale.
Okay. Good work. B+.
Nice.
Rob, what do we got?
All right, I got male,
How did I not
M-A-L-E,
get male?
and male, M-A-I-L.
Mm.
I got sail, S-A-I-L, and S-A-L-E. And I got kale, K-A-L-E.
Beautiful.
I don't know if
My
there's
pen
another
ran
Cal,
out of ink,
but-
so I'm not actually writing these down. But I know
All right,
Tony had a couple more.
I had gal, as in like a girl. Pal, as in like a friend. Fail, canal, and hail, as in like the rain, frozen rain. I guess I could have done like hail, as in like, oh, hail.
Hail to the king. Jason
Yeah.
Hale.
Yeah.
Isn't it spelled the same way, though?
I don't know.
It is.
Actually, I have no idea.
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How'd you guys do?
I
5.
got 5.
You what?
3-way tie?
Wow.
Wow.
We didn't
Is there like
cancel.
a
No
sudden
one
death?
canceled
Three-way on
anybody's
here.
out.
Is there a sudden death?
Sudden death.
All right. Jeez, I gotta think of another word. It took me all week to think of this word.
All right. Wait. What do we get? So you're gonna give us like one word, and then we have to just come up with our best rhyming word, or are we doing the most again?
A number 1 through 20.
How many fingers do I have behind my back?
You have 20
10.
fingers behind your back.
7.
Did you say 20?
Or 10. Did I say 20?
You said 20.
Oh man, that would have been some shit if you would have pulled out 20 fingers.
I was trying to look at your face to tell if you were serious.
Dude, I was totally kidding. Are you? Come on, I know.
So-
I thought you were kidding, and then you look dead serious, man. I don't know.
That was a
7.
moment.
So the answer was 8. I've got 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, but Wheeler knew it was kind of a joke, but
I got.
all right. Whew.
20.
I got my toes contorted up behind my back too.
Better get checked out. You got that many fingers.
All right. Well,
That actually would probably be helpful.
What? Wait, what is that? Bruce Almighty, where he does that,
Yeah.
and the person pulls their fingers out, and there's like extra ones.
We'll have to think of a tiebreaker in case this happens again.
No, I just did.
But we will switch over to pick some games. We are in the championship weekend.
I'm sure everybody beat you guys anyways.
I'd be willing to bet that we probably beat everyone who did that because we each got 5. That's pretty good.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
In the end, it doesn't
Tony.
even matter.
You're pushing me away with that singing.
Last week, Rob got 1 right, so he's
Throw me under the
won
bus.
for the entire postseason.
Guys, I'm very good at picking playoff games.
Ryan, Travis, and I all got 3 correct, so pretty good week. 3 out of 4 for us. We only have 2 games this week. Travis, what are your thoughts for San Francisco and the Eagles?
Well, the Eagles looked absolutely dominating. The 49ers are solid, but it's really hard to pick anybody but the Eagles on that side after watching last week's performance. And I know it was against a far inferior team to the 49ers, but I'm going to let the hype and bias seep in. So I'm picking the Eagles.
What's your key player? Who's your key player?
We never said the lines either.
It's probably like 2 or 3, 2.5.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's Eagles minus 2.5.
Bam.
Boom.
Since
Got
there's
it.
only 2 games, we can just say the lines while we do this.
Bonus points if I get this right now.
What's the line
Yeah.
for the Kansas City game?
Kansas City is
1
plus
1.5. That was close.
Who's
Key player.
your key player?
I'm going to go with A.J. Brown because Devonta Smith, they kind of flip-flop around. One will go off, the other will go off.
Yeah.
One takes a couple rests this game. I'd say A.J. Brown. He's my love-hate player.
Brian, what are your thoughts on the Eagles versus San Francisco?
Man, I don't. San Fran's defense is so good. Are the Eagles going to be able to move the ball much? I mean, they have so many weapons on offense. You have to think that they're going to put up points. And then the 49ers. I know Purdy hasn't lost. He's looked Purdy out there, but he's got to
Keep
be
it up.
due, right?
Yeah, is
he's
he
got
due
to
for
be
a bad
due.
game.
And if you have a bad game against the Eagles, I have to think they have the best roster in the league. They're gonna make you pay.
Do any of you guys know, did they play each other in the regular season? Eagles, Niners?
I don't.
No, because the Eagles were undefeated until what?
Yeah, that's true.
Late, right?
Until they
And then they
played
lost
the Commanders. Right? They lost to the Commanders first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going Eagles for sure. I think that you get Brock Purdy out there. If he can live up to the moment, that's awesome. I'd love to see it. But I just think the Eagles roster is just so stinking good. That defensive line for them is also elite. They have great corners, great safeties. That's tough to
Honestly,
beat, man. And
both of these rosters are loaded,
yeah, they are.
talent-wise.
I was going to say, this is a matchup. This weekend's the matchup of the 2 best teams in the NFC versus the 2 best quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Rob, who you
That
got
hurt.
winning, and what's your key?
Well, I didn't get to say my player, who I think is the key
Who's
player.
the newbie now?
Oh my gosh, dude! I got skipped.
You were
Who's your
taking
key
too long.
player?
Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. All right, it's
No,
Quez
who's your
Watkins.
Okay. Will he have a catch? Do we want to take bets? Will he have a catch?
I think he'll have
Over,
one,
under?
and I think it'll be like 80
I was
yards.
just saying, he'll have like 1 catch for probably like 12 yards. He'll get 1 first down. Might be a big one. We'll see.
We'll see.
1 for 80 and a touchdown, you're saying?
Yep, like one big catch.
I hope so, because I would really like to see the Eagles. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan, so I'll make him my player to watch, my X factor, and I think they're going to get the win. I think the Niners' time is probably going to run out with that luck at quarterback. Man, they just seem to get whoever's in there, Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, they always seem to be good.
It's amazing.
They got to have one bad game at some point.
I am picking the 49ers just for that reason. I think Shanahan is potentially, I mean, he doesn't have the resume, but I think right now he's one of the best coaches in the league, if not the best. I mean, their offense runs effectively no matter who's in there as quarterback. And I think that these are the two best teams rosters in the NFL. So I think I hope it's going to be a great game.
Should be a physical game. You know, the 49ers are going to come out hitting.
Let's get physical.
Can the Eagles withstand that?
I think the biggest matchup advantage for the Eagles is their receivers against the 49ers secondary. Obviously, Bosa and the linebackers for the 49ers are just insanely good. But if they can, A.J. Brown and Smith can take advantage of some of those, the Wards, Jimmy Ward and Tre'Davious, I think. If they can take care, whatever. If they can burn them a couple times, then they'll be sitting pretty. So I'll be picking San Francisco to not only cover but to win. We'll go backwards this time. Rob, what are your thoughts and who's your key player for Kansas City and San Francisco? Or Kansas City and Cincinnati, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to hate watch the hell out of that game. I just want both teams to lose. But honestly, has Mahomes ever been a home underdog? And I guess against the Bills he was, right? This year, weren't the Bills favorites?
Oh, yeah, not in the playoffs.
But not in the playoffs. And I know he's hurt, but man, it's going to be tough to pick against them. And I'm not making my decision yet. I'm going to make it maybe in a couple minutes here. I'm really not sure which way I want to go yet.
Yeah.
Brian?
I think the X factor. Yeah, the X factor is Patrick Mahomes, right?
It is, yeah. If he can move around fine, I guess I hope, because I think I want the Chiefs to win. But they need to be able to take more advantage of that injured offensive line than the Bills did. And I believe they have more talent to do that. Like Chris Jones is great. He should be able to take that game over. Yeah. So I'll make him he's my X factor of this game.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes as the X factor. Hit the quality of his health in his ankle. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Mm-hmm. But I got to go Bengals, man. The Bengals have beaten the Chiefs the last 3 times they've played.
Yeah,
they just beat they beat them this year. They beat them twice last year. They beat Josh Allen and the
Burrow's
Bills.
Never lost, I don't think, to the Chiefs.
So Burrow is 4-0 against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. That's
makes me. While I agree, yes, super impressive, but it also makes me want to pick Kansas City because just
law of averages.
Yes, it's like you just don't beat Mahomes that many times.
And I'd love to see the Chiefs lose in the Super Bowl again too. So that's kind of part of the reason I want them to win. We just saw the Bengals lose in the Super Bowl, whatever.
Right. So you want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, is what you're saying, because you want the Chiefs, who are the worst team left.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want the Bengals.
I don't know that I'd say they're the worst team.
You don't out of the final 4?
I don't think so. I think that. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of what the lines would be for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like if Mahomes is healthy, I think they're favorites over probably either of those teams.
You think so? Man, yeah. I
think the only reason that line is Chiefs +1 is because of Mahomes' knee. And are we certain that if the Eagles beat the Niners and the Bengals beat the Chiefs, that the Bengals won't be favorites over the Eagles?
I think the Bengals have the right to be favorites over the Eagles. I think the Chiefs don't.
Why do you think that?
Because the Bengals have been better than the Chiefs this year. They beat the Chiefs straight up. The Bengals they're hot right now.
The Chiefs were the 1 seed, though.
No, I understand that because they beat crappy teams at the end of the year, and the Bengals didn't get a chance, even though it wouldn't have mattered because the Chiefs won the last game anyway against the Raiders. But
so if the Chiefs beat the Bengals, does that change your opinion?
I think
it should, right? And then at that point, they should be favored. I think the AFC team will probably end up being favored. I'll say that now.
I would say that if it's the Eagles in the Super Bowl, they should be favored against the Chiefs, and if it's the Bengals in the Super Bowl, they should be favored. So if the Bengals are in, they should be favored no matter what. If the Eagles are in and it's against the Chiefs, and the Eagles should be favored. But I think the 49ers, quite frankly, they probably wouldn't be, but I think they could be favored against the Chiefs also.
It'll probably be a close line no matter who's playing.
I can't wait to see what they do or what happens and see what these lines are when they come out. But yeah, I would say I'm going to pick Bengals.
I just hope my square hits. Travis, what are your thoughts?
I thought I was going to be by myself here, but I am going to stick with the Bengals, especially after last week. I'm not sure what they're getting back as far as linemen, but those guys stepped in and did a pretty good job. I don't really have an X factor for the game, but I do have a U factor, and that is my unicorn, Joe Burrow.
All right. Brian, you picked Cincinnati as well?
I did. The unicorn, Joe Burrow.
Rob, you haven't given a pick yet?
Give me the Chiefs.
All right. I'm with you. I'm picking Kansas City. I think, kind of, as I said before, I think Bengals are playing better. The rosters are probably pretty similar, but I do think there is something to Mahomes just not losing that many times to one person. So, and also,
You're just
my motto
spiteful.
for 2020. Yeah, well, yeah, because my motto for 2023 is "Don't be an asshole," and Eli Apple is an asshole. So I'm rooting against the Bengals. The whole get your refund stuff. They were selling tickets at home if the Jaguars won until the day before. So don't act
Every
like
team
you're
does
doing
it every year. Yeah, it was stupid.
Like,
good for them that they were able to get themselves motivated over it, but it was really nothing.
So that was stupid. And then Eli Apple was just dumb. And he said he wasn't taking a shot at Hamlin, but it kind of came off like he was taking a shot at Hamlin. So like, don't act like a good person when the entire world is expecting you to be a good person. Just always be a fucking good person. You know what I'm saying?
A flipping good person. Got it.
You
And
can't
I just
swear?
want to say
No, we can swear.
congratulations.
I can't swear.
What was that, Rob?
I was just letting
I
you
thought
guys
he
get it
froze.
I just want, based on my picks so far this playoffs, I just wanted to say congrats to the Bengals and 49ers on the Super Bowl appearance. Because I just keep getting them wrong. So since I'm taking Chiefs and Eagles, I'm sorry. I just cursed your teams.
Good work.
No, I got yelled at for cursing.
Different type of curse there, Tony.
What is that?
That's a dog. That's Ezra's dog.
Dude, get out of here.
All right. That's game picks. We'll see what happens and excited for Super Bowl week. And going to the last segment of the day for Rob's segment, the Wonderlic Prep.
I heard you guys have an itch. An itch for some trivia.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So I have the cure
Is
for
that
the
what that
itch. Well, if it's a
relief.
different one, I don't know. Yeah.
We're getting
Some
worried.
trivia might help, though. We'll try. So again, I got 2 questions for you. One of these days, I'm going to do 3. That'll be quick, though. 2 questions. So, if you're ready, question 1. With a maximum depth of 36,161 feet, which ocean is the deepest? I'm not even going to take guesses beforehand because there's only so many oceans. So,
It's the Pacific.
Arctic.
Oh, we're not
B,
taking.
Atlantic. C, Indian, or D, Pacific.
Oh, I'm wrong. Shoot.
And I'll give you guys a bonus point if you can name
I can tell you it.
what the deepest point is called, but you write it down on your paper. So you can all have the potential for the bonus point. No one wants the bonus point?
What?
Did you not listen?
I was listening, but it was like Enser was
I
behind.
don't know if I spelled it right.
Yeah, Travis got it.
Well,
You
that's
didn't,
what
but you get it. So you all had Pacific Ocean. You get it right.
yeah.
The deepest point is the Mariana Trench. Almost 7 miles deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we
I
all
wonder what's down there. You want to go for a swim, Ryan?
dude.
I feel like that was on like a GOB in 5th grade.
Yeah, I tried
Probably.
to get I tried to get an easy one for you guys because we've only gotten one correct on each of the last two. So thank you for getting it right, everybody.
We appreciate the.
That felt like
lob.
a true trivia. Yeah. Little swing and hit.
I can write down all three correct and put a big star for you guys.
Did you
Wow,
pull these
look at
out
the
of
star.
Trivia Pursuit Junior?
Yeah, actually, I did. No, I should. You know what? I think my parents have that game. I'll have to go find it and pull those out for you guys.
Let's
until
go.
Until you have proven your worth
Man,
in
Well,
trivia.
So I think during the off season when Super Bowl's over and all that stuff, and we're doing our show, I think we're going to have a trivia night. I think one of our shows, because there's going to be times when there's not much to talk about. So I think we're actually going to have a trivia night, so listeners can join us and just do a whole Wonderlic test. Not prep. We'll be doing the test.
That sounds
We
like
should.
a nice Friday night special.
Yeah,
So we
maybe.
should just do the Wonderlic. I'm sure they have a copy of the Wonderlic test somewhere.
That would. Yeah, I'd be very interested to see how
Yeah.
we score, and I kind of feel like I might get last out of the four of us.
Hello.
We might
I
have
don't know. I've been drinking every episode, so
I know that's good though. That we need the
How long
handicap.
does the Wonderlic test take?
yeah,
Doctor?
probably a while.
I would
Yeah,
very,
I got my head filled with doctor stuff. I don't need to know all these silly facts.
As long as there's no math or science or geography,
That's
that'd
all
be
it is.
pretty good.
Sorry.
or reading.
Or reading. Yeah.
Or counting how many fingers you have.
Oh god, dude.
Mr. 20 Fingers.
20.
All right. Question 2. Let's go for a clean sweep today, boys. What is the most watched TV finale of all time? Again, I'm not going to do any no guesses ahead of time. I'm giving you choices. A,
gonna write it.
Cheers. B, Friends. C, MASH. Or D, Seinfeld.
Is this watched at the time of release or
Yes.
watched?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Got
watched
it.
at the time.
Man. I know what it should be.
Mine says Friends, but I think it's backwards on my screen, so it's hard
No,
to read.
it isn't. You're
It's
good.
not?
Nope.
Mine's backward.
All of us put Friends?
So you. Well, I'm glad that you guys at least tried to go for the clean sweep, but you're wrong. Friends was actually the lowest of all those.
It's
50
Seinfeld.
52.5 million viewers. Nope, Seinfeld was third out of these.
Yeah, that's what I said.
76.3 million viewers. See, MASH or Cheers? You want to go for
Go ahead,
It
Hunter.
was,
here?
it was Cheers.
No,
Mash.
you're wrong. 80.4 million for Cheers. And with
Stupid trivia game.
with
And he fails the
105
Wonderlic test.
105 million viewers watched that live. The finale of MASH was the most watched American TV broadcast up until the 2010 Super Bowl. So just for a fun fact on top of that, almost half of the United States population at the time, this was in 1983, tuned into the
Were bored.
finale of MASH.
Yeah, exactly. They had nothing else
We're
to
so
do.
bored they watched MASH
Yep.
I guess at
potatoes.
the time, there was like 7 channels.
1983, there was probably like 12.
Your camera just got so clear. You look like you're like in my screen right now. Holy moly! Wow,
I
that
can
was
show you what I got going on back here. Then we got a football signed by C.J. Spiller and Mario Williams.
wow.
Is this show and tell?
All right.
Show us that vasectomy
Jerry-
scar.
Your
got this
trivia totals, Ryan and Travis have 2, Anthony has 1. So there's 2 episodes
baby.
left for this month's. And then the running total, obviously, we'll keep going after that.
I got
but
a
2,
bonus point
1.
though, right?
No.
Oh, he did.
Oh, you did get a bonus point. Thanks.
Mariana's
what?
Trench.
Yep.
Mariana's
You
Trench.
got
Ryan,
Mariana's
Ryan,
Trench,
would
yeah.
you listen?
I would have wrote the Mariana's Trench. I didn't realize.
You didn't listen.
You weren't listening. I was like, did you not listen?
Okay, so that's fair. I get points deducted for not listening. Answer
No.
should get points
No,
deducted
you
on the.
don't-
Wait.
Oh.
No,
You didn't
Answer should get
lose a
points
point.
deducted.
You just didn't get the point.
Okay, fine. That's fair. But Answer should get a point deducted because he failed the emotional quotient part of the Wonderlic prep when he threw his pen and paper because he got the answer wrong.
Oh, shush
4
up.
times
20
or 3
fingers.
times.
3 times.
You guys.
I got confused. All right, I
He was
did
yelling
math
like,
So
really
he was yelling
fast in
like
my head.
Stefan
this
Diggs.
is a learning moment. Make sure next week you listen.
I do need to work on my listening. Thank you for pointing that out.
All right.
Maybe I'll have a bonus
That's it
point for both.
for this week's episode. You can find us on Twitter and all the socials at Ultraflex and Ultraflex Enter, Ultraflex Rob, Ultraflex Ryan. And yeah, give us a listen. As the season comes to the end here, we'll have less stuff to talk about as far as football. We'll talk about the draft a little bit. But once we get to May, June, July, we'll be pretty dry as far as material. So let us know if there's anything you want us to discuss or any games you want us to play. And Ryan, looks like you have something you want to jump in and say.
I'm just going to throw it out there every time, I think. So we have a website, ultraflexfootball.com. You can leave us a voicemail if you want us to talk about something. We will definitely, if you want us to, you can tell us right in the recording if you want us to play it live during our show, and we can do that. Or if you're one of those people that's normal and you hate talking on the phone and you don't want to leave a voicemail, then you can just like direct message us on Twitter, on Instagram. I think that's and Facebook.
Does anyone
And then
leave
we
voicemails
can-
anymore?
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if anyone ever wants to leave a voicemail.
Outside
so
of
it's
like
awkward.
work things or
Right, exactly. No one wants to do that, dude. I get like so nervous when I have to like call, like say we're ordering Chinese food or something. That sounds. Let's do something else. Let's go with if I'm calling to order like just from the pizza store, pizza restaurant.
Scared
I
you
hate
to mess
having
it
a
up.
place. Yeah, dude, I get like anxiety. Like I'm gonna mess it up when I go through a drive-through. I start sweating. I'm like, oh god, I gotta, especially if I have to order someone else's food too.
you got to plan
all
those
out of
words out
that.
ahead of time.
What's that?
We're all out of that.
Finally get it all
Panic
out
sets
clearly. Oh no.
All right, I'm just
You
not
do
going to
know,
get
like-
anything. Bye.
We're talking to people right now, and they're like watching and listening, right?
No one's watching this, right? That's why I tell myself no one's watching this. We're good.
My
We're gonna have to do
dogs
a
have been
live
sitting
show.
here watching the whole time.
I think our next one should be live. This was number 30. Now that we're in the 30s, we're going live.
Oh, happy 30.
Soon, we'll try to think of a couple ways to get our wives involved here and there. That way they can participate in this as well. But that is it for Championship Week podcast.
Are you going to grow your mustache for my birthday next week, Anthony?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did everyone get their music in? Everyone get their song
Yeah.
titles in?
Yeah, I did.
Yeehaw! Let's go, boys.
All right. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week, and we'll know who's in the Super Bowl. Have a good one.
Go Bills. Oh, wait.
Go Sabres.
Cancun on 3.
1, 2, 3. Nobody.
Cancun.
There we go. What's up, Ultraflexers? Thank you for listening to our show. We appreciate all of you for your support. If you would like to support us even more, we have a website, ultraflexfootball.com. Or if you could like or subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube, that would be awesome. We would also really appreciate it if you would rate our show. Plus, of course, if you didn't like it, then maybe make a donation on our website so that we can make the show better, just for you. You can also leave us a voicemail on our website if there's something you'd like us to share or talk about, and then maybe we'll play it on the podcast. Once again, we appreciate all of you, and we look forward to talking random stuff again next week. Oh yeah, and some football.